Oh, hello. Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's today's Celebrity Big Brother 3 updates and spoilers. Happy Sunday. Hope you're all having a great day so far. Our house guests of the day are Jim Bergeron, Jackie Robert, Justin Stiles, Victoria King, Matthew Cordova, and Charlie Cutler. Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel and keep this going, this party. So Jody Cortez, Gail Murphy Comedy, Alex Garza or Garson, and AR Chan 1785. Thank you all so much for your super chats yesterday. Yay! Okay, yes, we do have a veto winner. I was not even expecting the veto competition yesterday, but we will get to it. Alex Garson, thanks for the super chat. And welcome to everybody in the chat live right now. Let's get started. When we left off yesterday, Todrick is the HOH. Blech. And sorry, but blech. He was preparing to make his nominations, and he's planning on putting up Todd and Lamar. So Todd is his target because, let's face it, Todd has performed the best in competitions out of Todd, Cynthia, and Lamar. So it makes sense. But Todrick and Misha have already discussed if Todd wins the power veto, Cynthia will be going up in his place, and Lamar will become the new target. Okay. So they had the nomination ceremony, and as expected, Todd and Lamar are up on the block. And oof, it sounds like Todrick was really extra about this nomination ceremony. He wrote and performed a song. He put on a bunch of jewelry and heels, a crown, a train. He was very pleased with himself after the ceremony and talking to Cynthia like, oh my God, it was so good, right? Like, it was so amazing. Yeah, and he says he even came up with a drag name, Sarah Moni. Please don't ruin drag for me. Please. So something tells me the ceremony that we're going to see tonight is going to be unbearable. Like, horrifically bad, but we'll see what happens. So Cynthia and Lamar were chatting in the chocolate bedroom after the ceremony, and Lamar says if Cynthia wins the power veto, he wants Todd to go further in this game. He says, I would sacrifice myself for my man Todd. And Cynthia's like, you sure? And Lamar says, yeah, I think he needs it more. That's really sweet of Lamar, but also, like, if Cynthia wins the power veto and uses it, Todrick would be forced to nominate Misha, and then they can just vote her out. Like, you can all stay. Don't you realize? They're not realizing this yet. But they agree they need to fight and try and win this power veto because they do not want Todrick and Misha to just waltz their way to the end. So they did end up having the power veto competition yesterday, and I guess Big Brother wanted to get it done so that they could focus on Monday's double eviction. So I don't know exactly what the competition was yet, but we do know that Todd won the power veto. So who knew that Todd Bridges would be such a competition beast? I was not expecting that at all. But he really needed this. He was having a rough day going into this competition. He was saying like, oh, I wouldn't be upset if I was evicted. And he was going to, before they even had the nominations, he was saying, I might not even try to win the power veto, even if I'm nominated, because he's just so tired and exhausted from all of this. Well, I guess he did end up trying in the competition, and I think it really lit a fire under his butt. So Misha and Todrick were chatting at the dining room table at one point yesterday. Solitaire time. Okay, so Todrick asks Misha, what are you thinking? And Misha says, well, I'm thinking it would really suck if it was our fate to lose this game to Todd. That'd be a huge blow to the ego for them, right? So Todrick is wondering, who would Todd target if he won the next HOH? Misha thinks it would probably be her, but they would both be going up on the block. So Todrick didn't seem to care too much about Misha being the target, but then he was like, well, if you win the power veto in that scenario, I'm gone. I'm out of here. All right. So Todrick says for this week, he hopes that he's not going to have to put Cynthia up because he says that would just be stressful for no reason. You know, she'd have to pack up all of her stuff and she would have to be stressed out on her birthday weekend when it's just going to be Todd or Lamar leaving in the end. Todd? You mean the person that just won the power of veto? So Todrick thinks that he can talk Todd into not using the power of veto. He's like, I'm just going to ask Todd, do you want to go or do you want Lamar to go? You know, we can just vote Lamar out. If you don't use the veto, we'll just vote Lamar out if that's what you want. What? I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. So Misha's like, I don't think he's going to trust us at this point to follow through on something like that. You think? Todrick says, well, the worst that he can say is no, you know, may as well try because he might say yes. So Todrick wants to sell this to Todd as the gentlemanly or the chivalrous thing to do. It's Cynthia's birthday weekend. He's going to tell Todd this would make up for you attacking her on national television. That's really rich coming from Todrick, who has been a shafid to everyone else in this house. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about Todd. Let's see what Todd is up to. So Todd is fired up now after this power veto win. He's talking to Cynthia, and it sounds like the power veto competition was some sort of knockout. And at one point, Misha put Todd up against Todrick, you know, thinking that Todrick was going to win, but clearly Todd beat him. I think he also was up against Misha, maybe right at the end, and he beat her too. So he felt pretty darn good about that. But Todd is saying we need to win this next HOH so we can split up Misha and Todrick. Yeah, but like they're not realizing this either, that the next HOH is basically just for safety. The POV winner holds the power because the power veto competition is going to determine who gets to cast the sole vote to evict. The HOH winner only has control over who's nominated if they're also the power of veto winner. So they're not really catching on to that yet. And it's a little bit painful to watch. But a little later, Todrick and Misha are in the HOH room. And Todrick says, all right, I was thinking about it. And mathematically, I feel like we're in an okay spot here. We're in a better spot than we were thinking before. Because first of all, if we can get Todd out this week, that would be perfect. You really think that you're going to convince Todd to leave himself on the block and then you're going to vote him out, say goodbye to another jury vote? But seriously, he really thinks that that's going to happen. Give me a break. But he says, if not, worst case scenario, Todd wins HOH next week. And as long as one of us win the power veto, we can both stay. We can keep each other safe. So he says, if Cynthia is the one that gets to vote, she's probably going to vote out Misha. And I think Todrick would secretly be more than okay with that. So anyway, he says, as long as we can win the power veto, we're okay. And Misha's like, yeah, you know, in order for one of us to leave, that would mean that we'd have to have two major fumbles of losing both the HOH and the power veto. And they just feel like that's not super likely. I would agree it's not super likely, but it's definitely possible and something I would love to see. So later, Big Brother gave the house guests sushi, cake, wine, and party supplies to celebrate Cynthia's 55th birthday. So the house guests all sang happy birthday, and they had the tiny party hats. I love a tiny hat. It's a lot of fun. So it was nice that Big Brother gave them those and Cynthia could have some fun celebrating her birthday. All right. So then a little later, Todd and Lamar are chatting in the bathroom. And Todd says, if I win HOH next, I'm going to put up Misha and Todrick. And he actually wants Todrick out, not Misha. I realize annoying as Todrick is, I think in their position, you got to get Misha out because Misha could actually get jury votes. They're not realizing yet how pissed the jury is at Todrick. They are not happy with him. So it's definitely a better move to take him to the end, but maybe they just like don't even want him to get the second place prize. They're like, no, can't deal with it. But they also still don't realize next week is all about the power of veto. So then Todd is saying to Lamar, for this week, you got to tell me who to vote for between you and Cynthia. Like, what do you want to happen? But honestly, like, this is not really up to them, because if they don't vote the same way as Misha, it's just going to be a tie. And then Todrick is going to break the tie. So it's not really up to them who's going to be leaving. But they did both enjoy the shock factor of Todd beating Misha and Todrick during the power veto competition. I'm excited to see that. I think that's going to be a good time. But yeah, the reason that they're really wanting Todrick out, he's pissing them off too. They were really annoyed by the little show that he put on during the nomination ceremony, and they just feel like he was gloating and it was gross. And Todd is also noticing, wow, ever since I won the power veto, Todrick is all of a sudden trying to buddy up to me. So anyway, that was last night. Today, nothing happening yet. It's been a lazy Sunday. The house guests are sleeping in. I don't know if they're doing the POV ceremony today or during the show tomorrow. I'm not really sure. But I think it's pretty safe to say that Todd will be using the power veto on himself. I don't think he's going to fall for Todrick's pitch to stay up on the block. I mean, you never know. We've seen some crazy stuff happen this season, but I have a feeling Todd's going to save himself.
Oh,
hi. Hello. So as of now, thank you.
I see Lucy.
She
snuck
stayed.
into
Yeah,
frame.
Lulu. Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, Louie, good girl. So as of now, it seems like Lamar is going to be leaving tomorrow, which really bums me out. But who's going to follow him? Who is going to be the second person evicted in the double? I don't know.
What do you think?
Oh, Louie! Yes! You're such a good girl. Oh. And Bowie's here too, of course. Yes, you are.
I want Lamar to win.
I know. You love
Lamar.
Lammy.
Or
You love Lammy. Oh.
I want Todd to win.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. All right. So.
He said at me.
Yes.
Cynthia's going, so it doesn't matter.
Is she?
No.
No. Misha and Todrick want to keep Cynthia around until the end because they know that
she's not good at comps.
Yeah.
She's not good at the activities.
She's not good at the activities. So I want to thank today's super chatters because you guys are awesome and we could not do this without you. So, all right. Alex Garson, thank you so much. I think Alex said he's going to change his name back after the season's over. You're just too funny. I love that. Lynn Hurst, thank you so much.
I love the cat in the thumbnail too.
Yeah. Lynn, thank you for the super chat. And Lynn says, hi, Maddie. Is anyone studying the days? That's a good question. It seems like no. I haven't really seen anybody studying or heard anyone studying. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Big Brother is not even going to do a competition like that because these celebrities just they're not.
It'd be funny if they did and they were struggling.
Nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
I know, right? These celebrities don't know how this game works.
They don't know the territory.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't even bother doing a competition like that. But that's a good question. Jody Cortez, thank you for the super chat. And Jody says, did not even watch last night, just couldn't. You didn't miss that much. They didn't even show Cardgate. I was disappointed. No Cardgate.
Or Poopgate.
Yeah, so that's a bummer. But Trisha C, thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. And I love that sticker. It's really cute. All right. So that's all we got for you today. Don't forget to vote for your favorite house guest.
Which is probably Shayna.
We've been voting for Shayna. But yeah, we'll be back tonight for the episode recap.
And we will vote again.
We will vote again, yes. So thank you all so much again for being here. We'll see you later. And until next time, much love. Bye.